Oh, hi guys, welcome to your YouTube channel. Welcome to Mark Bayerski's little haven, I don't know. I've spent so much time and effort here in putting beautiful energy into this academy that it's a delight to be here for me every day. Welcome anyway to this little part of the journey that I'm on at the moment, which I share with you daily. Everything that I share with you is my experiences, which normally is more touching. You know, if I'm sharing experiences of other people, it's never quite the same. And this morning was quite funny. I did a live video on Facebook. If you ever pop along to Facebook, in fact, you could go probably see it because it's open there to the public, and it was a lady said, "Oh, I miss your morning videos. That normally I take a walk in the village and through the village, and you walk with me live, and I didn't this morning." So Jenny said, "I missed it this morning." So I made a little video, and while I was sat having a coffee, and while I was having a coffee, something very profound happened, and it doesn't normally happen live on videos on live stream, but it was really significant to me anyway, and it was about the force energy. And basically I was just sat there talking, and a man from Taiwan started talking to me from just nowhere. And as he started talking to me, he said, "You know, this video you're doing, are you going to upload it to YouTube, something like that?" And I went, "Yes, yes." And then he said, I need the, can I have the information, please? Can I have your name?" And I tried to explain to everybody afterwards that life really is very much like that for me. Forcing or pushing has never ever been, or has never sat comfortable with me ever, and I don't believe it should. And I think all our hearts know that, pushing and forcing. When you pick a phone up and somebody's trying to sell you something, the first thing I want to say is, you know what, if I want to find an insurance, I'll go and look for an insurance. I don't need you to knock on my door. Hi, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. If I want to find religion, I'll look for it myself. So I've always struggled with people who have been pushing. Yes, okay, I make videos, but I don't push them on you. You find your way to where you need to be. You may turn around and say, well, spirit brought them to you, but there is a difference in that. That you can feel the difference between a force energy and a loving energy that has been brought to you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's another story, by the by. Today's story is slightly different, and today's story is today's topic is all about what's today's topic about? Past lives. Okay, shall we get started? Do you know, I've got to be honest. Over the 12 years that I've been doing this, I've learned very quickly to keep my mouth closed in front of people. And the reason why is because when I first started sharing this information with people, I always had this feeling that when I walked off, somebody'd say, "That guy's a lying so-and-so, and he talks a load of rubbish and stuff," because the stories that I share are so profound that even shock me, So you learn to keep your mouth shut, and when to, spread your love and your message in a loving way to the right people who come to you, because then they're ready. Do you get that? Better just wait till people come. Somebody said to me, how do you, if you want to share your love and your message with family and friends, but they're not where you are, you're awakened, I'm awakened, Mark, but my family isn't, what do I do? Well, certain things you can do, which is really amazing, is just be you. But don't push or force. Another thing is, I listen to a radio show. It's a good friend of mine, Richie Allen, so you should try and listen to it sometime. It's called the Richie Allen Radio Show, And it's really profound because Rich is a typical beautiful Irishman who speaks the truth. And all that he has on his show, all the beautiful people who come onto his show have a story to tell, and it's their story. And the mainstream media would never share these stories ever, because the mainstream media is just basically a circus. So he gives these real life stories. So do you know what? I say to people, listen to the Richie Allen show, okay? And if you want people to be awakened by all of the stories of spirituality, of conspiracy, which people say it's not conspiracy, it's conspiracy truth, all these things, just put the radio show on in the background. But don't force it, just put it on in the background like you're listening to it. And then the rest of the family, without push or without force, might just overhear something. And then it happens. They become awakened. So sometimes you can do delicate little things to help people awaken. I hope that helps too. Okay, let's get on with this. We're on 5 minutes or 6 minutes now. We're talking about past lives. Do I believe in past life? My God, do I believe in past life? I'm going to share a story with you now that was so profound in my life. And it could only have happened after the breakup of my marriage. And the reason why that is because I was devoted to Susie. So nobody else could come in because I wouldn't allow that, you know. Two reasons for that. One, because I made a promise, and I kept that promise for 20 years, which would... I always remember saying, you know, if I ever felt anything for somebody else, you would be the first to know. And I kept that promise. So whatever happened, happened, and we're now parted. Now all of a sudden, my heart opens up to love, meaning that I'll follow love. Wherever love is, I'll follow it. And this is really strange. This is all to do with past life, okay? So this is my experience. So I'm in Bali. And the group in Bali, we were doing a heart healing retreat, we're all around, and apparently the first thing I said in the group at night when I gave my first talk was I turned to a certain lady and looked at her and looked right in her eyes and said, I love you with all my heart. I've always loved you. Now, I didn't know I said that until this lady, a week or 2 weeks later, sent me a message and told me. But there was something really profound that happened to me over the 7 days of this retreat. I found myself feeling drawn to this certain lady and not knowing why. And it wasn't on a sexual level at all, because I was working as a healer, and that is completely unethical. So it didn't enter my mind. But I did find myself having certain feelings that I've never felt before for this certain soul that I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why I was getting all these strange feelings of similarity, feelings of recognition of this soul. I feel a familiarity of who this was, and I almost felt when I was sat next to her like we knew each other, like it all fitted together, like we were one. It was really strange, but I couldn't figure it out. I gave this lady a healing session, and I can't explain to you what happened, but it was like I melted into her energy, and I started crying buckets of tears. Spirit was all around, loads of spirit, loads of family and spirit, and they were thanking her for all that she is and all that she does. And I could feel these emotions. Anyway, come the end of the retreat, we were saying goodbye to everybody, and this particular lady walked over and she said, I just want to say goodbye to you. And I started filling up with tears. In fact, I feel it now. She sat down and she put her head on my shoulder. And all I can tell you is I have never in my life felt the way I felt about this soul. It wasn't on a sexual level. It was on a love level that I've never felt before. And it felt like I'd just come home from travelling the whole world for 50 years, or I'd been in prison for 20 years, and and now I'm at home. It felt right, it felt pure, it felt loving. I'm telling you this not because you might think, well, you should have taken her in your arms and loved her. No, that's not what this is about. This is about feeling something that I've never felt before. And in truth, would I have ever felt that if I hadn't have done a YouTube channel? Because I think she found me from YouTube and she must have felt something, because 2 weeks later, after she sent me a message and confirmed everything, we never even said anything to each other. We never spoke about any of this. But 2 weeks later, she sent me a long message and oh my God, I completely understood what she said down to the final detail of saying goodbye. There are times in life, dear friends, that you are drawn to somebody that you can't explain. There is no words, there is only feelings. And I think I was blessed because of the YouTube channel, and somebody out there in the world, which was far away, saw me talk and felt my energy and felt that we have been one before. That does not mean that we are meant to be together again. That's not what this is about. This is about two people who can honestly say that they have experienced something beyond words, that they feel a familiarity of each other so profound that no words are needed. And I can say with my hand on my heart that I absolutely feel that we were in a past life together, and I have never felt that before with anybody. And that is not to say that I have not met people in past lives and felt a familiarity of them. This is different. This feels like we were together and we had a long life, and that's how it felt. So that was my story, okay? There was a lady who was born into a family, and all her life she always felt that she didn't fit in. And from being a child growing up, she used to often say that you're not my mum and dad. And it must have been difficult for her parents, but she always felt that she didn't fit in where she was, and it didn't feel real. It felt like, this is not my family. Well, this certain lady grew up, and when she was of age, she started getting more and more intense feelings about being not where she should be. And a day came where these visions of her past life were becoming so strong that she was struggling with her life. And out of synchronicity, spirit's helping hand, something happened on a TV, and she was watching a program, and all of a sudden she screamed out, "That's my home." And it ended up being in a different part of the world, and it was in Ireland. So what she did when she got to the age where she could be independent, she obviously studied where the place was, and she found where the town was, and she took a trip. She then walked around and found the street that she used to live on. She walked on that street and she saw the house that she lived at. She knocked on the door, and a man came to the door who was an old man. I believe he was a doctor. And she said, "You're not going to believe this, but I'm your sister." The man was very bemused and bewildered and just thought this lady was crazy, and she said, "Please hear me out." She then described the whole of the house inside and out, and she then said that you had a sister who passed away very young, and she said, "That's me." He was so overwhelmed that he had no alternative or no option but to hear her out, because it was all the truth. It was his sister. They now, well, this was 10 years ago when this story was given to me, and they became good friends. And I think that's one of many stories I've got, which is, for me, ultimately amazing. I have seen children come to my Pure Energy Healing Academy, and also when I first started over in the village in Tickle Pink above there, children of 6 and 7 and 4 years old do things that their mothers have said, I have never taught them to do that, and they do it so naturally. Why is it, do you think, that people have a natural gift in certain things? Think about that. Why is it that you have a gift that I haven't got? Could it possibly be that you've been here before and you've done it before? Could it be that a child getting onto a piano and starting to play, you've seen it, you've heard about this, and so have I, started to play and they've never been taught? Children who have got a gift to just draw naturally out of, this amazing ability. Is it a gift? Is it a gift, or is it something that we have worked on ourselves, being this beautiful energy, keep coming back and learning and experiencing and oh, this feels right. Well, possibly it feels right because you've been here before and you've done it before. It feels comfortable. I have a spiritual belief that around our life force is an energy. And that energy is what is called chi or prana or life force, okay? And within that life force, there are fragments of past life. I call them memories. And these memories are always there, that they help guide us in the right direction. Now, I'm not saying that we come back here to continue what we're doing, because that would be just my observation and my belief. But wouldn't it be true to say that if you found a job that you hated, could that not be that your heart's saying this is not what you're back here for? Could it not be that your heart is connected to all the memories of past life, that every time you do something or you're with somebody and your heart says this isn't right, maybe your heart is the gateway or the key that helps you find your true path and helps you stay on that right path? Couldn't it be that? Why do you think I say listen to your heart and not your mind? Live in your heart, not your mind. Work from your heart and not your mind. I believe, dear friends, wholeheartedly that you've been here many times before, and your gifts are so profound that they will blow you away. And I would say this, if you follow your heart and clear your mind, you will hear whispers from your heart, which is connected to the spirit world, about everything that you've done, who you are, and how important you are, and why you're here. That's, I believe, the reason why we're here, to find out why we're here, and to live this earthly life for all those right reasons. Are you on the right path? Well, I tell you what, you're here now, and you're listening to this, so that's something. It's a start. You know what? I love you all. I really do. You're my brothers and sisters, and I could not hate one person in this world, because if I hate anybody, that means I hate myself. I have to start with me. I have to learn to love me and learn to love everything else in this world. And once I start to do that, I am able then to vibrate at a high vibration that then does not interfere with my journey of life. If I am angry, if I am jealous, if I am bitter, if I am needy of anything, that to me will stop me along my spiritual path, this journey I'm on. So I work daily not to be involved in conflict, not to fight, not to fear anything, but to try and find my happiness and my balance. And everything then falls into place. If you want to know what opens the doorway to your heart, it is the start of your internal happiness. You have to turn away from everything that causes you any pain or suffering. You have to let it go with love, and you have to find your own path. That's why you're here. You have to find you. Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody. Only you. You have the power. No one has the power over you. Have a beautiful day, guys. I love you all.